Good.
Yep, yep. You got some folks that'll clean their yards, and you got some folks that'll.
Commissioners Court of Brazos County will meet regular session on April 7th, 10 a.m. The Commissioners Courtroom, County Administration Building, 200 South Texas Avenue, Suite 106. First item is the invocation of the pledge of allegiance to the U.S. and Texas flag. Commissioner Nettle will lead those.
Most Heavenly Father, thank you, and we give gratitude for the opportunity to live in this nation, live in this state, and this great county. We ask you today as we come to serve you and to serve our constituents for your wisdom as we make decisions that impact the people that live here. In Jesus Christ's name, amen.
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 Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Honor the Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state, under God, one and indivisible.
Thank you, Commissioner.
So I didn't interrupt.
Second item on the agenda is call for citizens' input and/or concerns, and we've got one. Cindy Wiley.
Good morning.
Morning.
Been such a long time since I feel like I've been standing here. I do have an ask from you, Judge. That you would set up a citizen committee to explore the anomalies in the voter registration rolls that I have addressed at this court. I would love to be proven wrong, and that's really my goal. Even if our EA, and it doesn't have to be with Ms. Hancock, it can be with anybody from the election department, but I would really like for it to be nonpartisan and for it to be official, unaccountable, and reportable to you. That would be my goal. Why do I ask these things? As I said, I have primary ballots with no number, no precinct number. I have 200 ghost voters that were not on any registration roll. I have deceased voters for over a decade on our voter rolls. I have duplicate voters, same name, same date of birth. Secretary of State put out an ineligible list of Brazos County having 21 back in October of 2025. I don't know if those were dealt with. I also recently received not from Dr. D, but from another cyber expert, 3 individuals who supposedly voted both in the primary, both on the Republican and the Democrat side. That's a concern. And why would somebody not want clean voter rolls? I don't have an answer. I have no intention to stop investigating the anomalies on our voter rolls. There's a treasure trove of data out there, as that's why ballots are being seized, to discover the ways that quote-unquote fraud happens. Trump signed an executive order last week regarding the mail-in ballots. If the discoveries regarding our voter rolls are cleaned up, then every legitimate voter wins. It's a win-win. 2 comments about the recount that just happened. Pardon me. It does not validate a legitimate ballot. It only verifies a paper count. The machine count and the people count were the same, but it does not verify legitimate ballots. Also, my concern, the TEC was not followed. The Texas Election Code was not followed. If the chair of the primary of the party wanting the recount is not able to fulfill that duty, that goes to the secretary of that party. That was not done. And I brought that concern. I did not file a complaint, but I called the Secretary of State and I verified that the Texas Election Code that I read, that's how it was supposed to happen, and it did not. Pardon me, getting past a cold. So really, to sum this up, I want clean voter rolls. I want legitimate ballots. And if you have a different perspective from that, I don't understand what it is. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, we will consider and take action on agenda items 3 through 26. Number 3 is approval requested by Human Resources for acceptance of monetary donation of $500 from Insurers of Texas to be used for purchase of Health and Safety Expo June the 4th, 2026 for employees, Brazos County, City of College Station, and City of Bryan.
Move for approval.
Second.
Motion made, seconded, discussion. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? None motion carries. Number 4 is approval requested for Resolution 26-008, renaming the Brazos County Specialty Court to Brazos County Recovery Court.
Move for approval.
Second.
Motion made, seconded, discussion. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? None motion carries. Number 5 is approval requested from Risk Management for property coverage of application with Texas Association of Counties to include buildings, building contents, building equipment. Property renewal coverage will be July 1, 2026 to July 1 to 2027.
Move for approval.
Second?
Motion made, seconded, discussion.
Judge, I've got a number of questions here.
All right.
I'm looking at, it says the dollar amount on this, zero, and I know that's not correct because this cost us something. What I'd like to know is what we paid for this same coverage last year, and we anticipate that the cost will be this year, and why we never go out for bid. How come we always use the Texas Association of Counties? And I'd like to know what our loss ratio was for last year.
Well, and the last question I have is, were these items not included on last policy?
I'm sorry, repeat that question?
So were the items, building contents, mobile equipment not included last time, or is this?
Oh, no. So we have 2 policies through Texas Association of Counties. One is for property, and we do that around this time frame, and then the other is through TAC for general liability, which also includes our law enforcement, public official insurance, and auto. So my recommendation is to stay with TAC, but if the court deems differently, then we can do so. TAC is a not-for-profit association. It's a risk management pool, and it is pooled with county funds, not just our funds, but counties all around Texas. They serve only counties. They do not serve cities. They do not serve private entities or anything like that. So they're custom for county type of liability. They just understand the liability better because they deal with it on a regular basis. It's also not for profit, sorry. It is, since it's a risk management pool, you're putting county money into the counties, and then we recover that money as things are happening. They use reinsurance agencies to help float the bill when they don't have enough money to give out to the counties for certain disasters or whatever.
Okay, so how much did we pay them last year, and how much do we anticipate that we're going to pay them this year?
So I'm guessing it's going to be around $500,000 this year.
Is that what we paid them last
It's
year?
pretty typical for property alone. We do have quite a few structures on the list,
Yeah, I saw
which
the
is
list.
it's pretty extensive. But
But I think my whole issue is, when you're talking about a $500,000 expenditure, it wouldn't hurt for us to go out in the open market and get some bids to make sure that what we're getting from TAC is a good deal, because we don't know if we never ask.
And I don't disagree with you. I will say that TAC provides things that other entities won't. We would have to pay them outside of the policy to get those same services, which includes training, HR training, risk management training, law enforcement training, conferences, all that kind of stuff. That's why I recommend to stay with them, because it's not just about how much money we're paying, but it's also about the services that we gain from that, we can definitely bid this out if the court would like to do that. The TAC is ran by commissioners throughout the county, so they're actually on the board. They make all the decisions and that kind of thing. So it's just a vested interest.
But that doesn't mean they're the best deal out there.
They might not be the best deal.
Until we look and see. And that doesn't, there's nothing hard to do. I mean, it may end up at the end of the day, the TAC is the best deal. But I'm leery because I know a lot about TAC when I was in the legislature, and it wasn't good.
But they're
So-
lobbying for us. And now for the commissioners, for the counties, they are lobbyists,
Right.
they do go up
Right.
there and they lobby, but they're actually lobbying specifically for counties, not for
Right.
the insurance world, but specifically for counties.
Well, I have not drunk the Kool-Aid.
Well, I kind of have because I'm on one of the boards. So I am pro-TAC, and I believe that they deliver a good product.
I'm sure they do,
And I will say,
but it'd just be smart for us to get some other bids to make sure we're getting the best deal.
I will
That's all I'm
say,
asking for.
and I understand, I will say that when it comes to insurance, you're going to get a better deal somewhere else. The problem is when you have a disaster like we did in 2020 and 2021, like City of Bryan's policyholders dropped them because they had too many cars damaged. We had 100. So we would have been dropped probably from that insurance policy, but since we had TAC, they just don't do that. So there's also that risk. There might be a better deal financially, but they're also not getting that training, the conferences, all that stuff.
We pay for the conferences. That's not.
Well,
that-
it's in
that's
our,
not-
it's in our thing, but,
And have you ever been to those conferences? I mean, you can spend a whole afternoon talking about asphalt. I mean,
If
well,
you
the
choose
conferences
to.
I go to are for safety
Right.
and for liability.
No, Chuck is the one that has to sit through the asphalt discussions. You don't have to sit through that.
Fred, that's 3 different
I don't know
breakouts. You
about
should
the
have just
asphalt
stayed for
one.
one of those.
But if the court wishes, we can do that. We do have a broker. Maybe we can get some preliminary numbers and stuff from them.
I just think it's a fiscally responsible thing for us to do. And at the end of the day, TAC may be the best deal, but we owe it to the citizens of Brazos County to always make sure that we get the best deal for them.
I understand.
So my comment on that, and having been here and seen what has happened here in 20 and 21 and 22, and even along the rivers in South Central Texas and the disasters they had there, TAC, to me, there is always going to be a cheaper option. There's
Always.
always going to be a cheaper option.
Right.
And City of Bryan saw what that gets you. It gets you dropped. To me, Texas, with tornadoes, floods, anything that we have going on, TAC to me looks like a giant shock absorber. If there's one set of counties dealing with the unimaginable like there were recently with the deaths of all those kids and all the damage over, what was that, 5 counties, TAC, to me, is the big shock absorber where if a small region of the state is having the unimaginable and they're dealing with it, it's not going to be also something they're dropped from when they need it the most or
Right.
when they depend on it the most. And that is mine. I do believe there's always a cheaper option. Sure, there's someone that'll do it for less money, but they will not be the shock absorber for the enormous geography that is the state of Texas. And
Right.
sadly, the big target we seem to have on us for natural disasters and whatever else. So
now.
my 2 cents are that I wholeheartedly want to approve this and stay with TAC for that reason.
Okay.
I agree. And I think that private insurers have so many exclusions that you can't anticipate. And to his point, I think TAC is that shock absorber that they don't have those kinds of exclusions that we would have to pay for if you add this, you add that. It's no different than your personal car insurance or your housing
Right.
insurance. When you look at the minute there's a situation, they're wanting to potentially either drop you or increase your policy.
So I will say I have heard through our broker, not through TAC, but I have heard through our broker that property insurance is going up
Yes.
this year, but that's across the whole industry. homeowners, all that. So I do expect to see an increase.
Increase from
I don't have a dollar amount for this year because this is the application. And then they will come back in about a month, about 30 days, and give us the cost and all that. And then if we decide to move forward, that's when we cut them a check. But I will say, just as a plug, I guess, for TAC, is that they also try to bring in like the state and the other people for trainings and stuff like that for the county entity so that they know how to reach out to FEMA and who to contact and that kind of stuff. If they don't know, they try to at least get us to the right people.
All I'm trying to do is just keep them honest. You
I-
know,
I
I went to
get you.
battle, I went to battle with TAC this last year over the pharmacy benefit manager, because
That I do not understand anything about. It's over my head.
they were only paying us 50% of the rebates. Well, those are our rebates.
Mm-hmm.
And I beat up on them, finally got up to 75%. And in reality, we need to get 100%.
Right.
But that's the kind of things you got to look at when you're dealing with TAC to make sure that you're getting the best deal. And
Yeah.
At the end of the day, we'll probably end up staying with them. I just want to know that we're getting a good deal.
Okay.
I think that's with any vendor.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
And-
it is.
And that is a true statement with any vendor. Any other questions or comments?
Thank you, Leslie.
Okay, thank y'all.
All right. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? None motion carries. Number 6 is approval request for declaration of intent to commit funding from the local provider participation fund for aligning technology by linking interoperable systems for client health outcome program, Atlas Program Year 2, to support the upcoming IGT request.
Move for approval?
Second?
Motion made, seconded. Discussion. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? None motion carries. Number 7 is approval request for updates for the Brazos County Capital Asset Policy to add a section addressing group purchases.
Move for approval?
Second?
Motion made, seconded. Discussion. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? None motion carries. Number 8 is approval request from Sheriff's Office to participate with the city's Bryan College Station in the 2025 Burn Justice Assistance Grant, JAG, Program Award.
Move for approval?
Second?
Motion made, seconded. Discussion. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? None motion carries. Number 9 is approval request from Forensic Services Uniform Policy.
Move for approval?
Second?
Motion made, seconded. Discussion. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? None motion carries. Number 10 is approval request from Brazos County Extension Office to issue a U.S. bank credit card to Stephen Burganoff, County Extension Agent, Horticulture, with a credit limit of $3,000 for conferences, travel, and other department-related expenses.
Move for approval?
Second?
Motion made, seconded. Discussion. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? None motion carries. Number 11 is approval of CIP 26-548, Brazos County Courthouse Annex Construction Material Testing with Dudley Engineering in the amount of $660,000.
Move for approval?
Second?
Motion made, seconded. Discussion.
Judge, I've got some questions for Charles. I think he's back there in the crying room. Charles? Charles, I think this is great that it's a local vendor. My congratulations to you there. My question is, I couldn't find any, that we ever went out for bids on this. How did Dudley get picked as the provider?
We did complete a solicitation for this, and Dudley was the selected provider, and we've renewed that contract a number of times. I believe that contract runs up in April of '27, and so in the coming months, we are going to be working on that solicitation to resolicit for these services.
So what
there's
happens?
There's no tabulation sheet for this deal, but we do have that tabulation sheet. We selected them based on qualifications per 2254, the Government Code, the Professional Services Act. And so we did competitively solicit those services, and then we have a master service agreement with them, and then we issue jobs as they come up throughout the term of that contract. And this happens to be one of them.
Well, in the future, will you include that backup that shows us that there were competitive bids?
I'd be happy to.
Because I think we need to know that. And I don't
For all of
understand
them,
this.
Commissioner, I didn't mean to interrupt. Is this for all of them that you want in the future? Like any of the engineering services, the
Please.
materials testing, so forth and so on? Yes, sir.
Yeah, and I don't understand this. I mean, we're going to pay these people $660,000 to look at dirt and concrete and things like that. And, you know, the people that are building this building, you'd think that they would have the engineers on site that would be able to guarantee us that all the stuff they're doing is good. I mean,
They will guarantee it, Commissioner. Our contracts with our contractors say that that we will pay for passing test. If they drill a bunch of piers and then they pour the concrete and the steel's not done right, or the concrete fails the break test, then they get to remove those and put it back in and pay for also the failing test. And so this is to guarantee, if you will, to give the county, as Trevor has, I think, mentioned before, this is to guarantee that we're getting the quality that we're expecting. The engineers, the architects, all of them specify what tests need to be passed. And then this material testing firm goes in and verifies, if you will, a third-party agent goes in and verifies that everything installed complies with that.
okay, good.
Right.
It's a third pair of eyes.
And thanks again for using a local vendor. I appreciate that.
That's my pleasure.
Yeah, that's Dudley out of Alabama.
That is
The,
not the selection criteria, but they are the ones that were selected based on their qualifications.
Yeah, and then just to point out too to everyone listening, I'm just going to read this paragraph verbatim. Under compensation, based on the project information available at the time, the cost of CMT services estimated to be approximately $525,000. Given that the project plans and specifications are currently preliminary and construction schedule is subject to change, a 25% contingency has been included. So that's where you get the $660,000. But that's where also I hope for a sliver of a rainbow of hope, right, that we can work, that their efforts may overlap with work being performed concurrently and coordinate minimizing redundancy, reducing overall costs where practical, that we might end up under $660,000. But putting it at 660 again protects us from having to go back later and ask for more money, where we have moving targets that we're trying to estimate what things cost. Is that fair?
Because of the solicitation or the delivery method for this construction manager at risk, we asked for that information up front. Trevor probably asked for this months ago. Based on the information that was available at this time, because of the design is a continuing, ongoing effort, then that is their best guess. And I think we feel very comfortable with that number. It could change at some point in time. More than likely, it'll be less than the total amount, the 600 and something thousand. But
Well, that doesn't happen very often.
so you had that comment, and so we bring currently we
Right.
bring all of the deductive change orders for other projects to the court for y'all's acknowledgement. We don't have the number of vertical projects that Trevor and his team manage, but I do anticipate, depending on what it is, that we do have some change order, but we also will bring back at the conclusion of that project any deductive change orders for remaining contingency in that project.
Good.
So you made some comments that I'm a little unclear about, because you said we had renewed this contract several times. This is only for the courthouse annex testing. Have they also been retained to test on the medical examiner's office okay, so.
Yes, sir.
This contract is the first time we're seeing this, because they haven't been reviewing any materials for the courthouse annex yet, because we're just getting started with that project.
They have been, I mean, I'd have to defer to Trevor, but they have been as far as compaction testing of the soil that's in the sanctuary and other pieces of that have the work that has been concluded. And so we test it as each layer goes down, if you will, to make sure that when I mentioned that we've renewed this contract. We've renewed the master services agreement for this period of time for annually, and we will reach that 5-year mark this next April. And so we issue the master service agreement, and that covers any work that we need them to do for that period of time. And so this is an individual contract. Maybe I was not as clear as I needed to be on that.
Okay. Nope, I understand. I just wanted to make sure.
Yes, sir.
Good local company. Mark Dudley's a good general contractor, so.
This is Drew Dudley and his wife Anna that own this. That is separate and apart from the Dudley Construction.
Oh, really?
It's
Okay.
his son
Ah.
that owns this company. They have engineers, very smart folks.
Well, I think it's a wise investment when you're talking about $59 million asset. And had that scrutiny been placed maybe when this building was built, we wouldn't be revisiting all the surprises we're finding with the renovations on this building. So thank you for your diligence on that. Appreciate the work that y'all are putting in.
Well, back then, First Baptist didn't pay to have an engineering company come in and test the soil and so forth.
And I'm sure it's a different time. We're talking 40 years ago.
Sure.
They didn't have those kinds of criteria so they wouldn't have known to do that. And so that's why I think it's very important now that given in this current moment, that 40, 50 years from now, that won't be an issue because, yes, it looks like a lot of money, but it will retain its structural integrity over the 40, 50 years because we're doing what we're doing now through that company. And I understand they're very specialized. So I'm sure most architect builder firms may not have a soil testing engineer, on staff, so to speak. You contract that out to the specialist. It's like, you don't want a heart surgeon doing a knee replacement.
Certainly. I can take no credit for this whatsoever. The county, as we've gone through projects, we have lessons learned, and Trevor and his team have been a tremendous asset in managing throughout the entire process. And so they're still continue to have lessons learned as they go through, but his team has been invaluable to making sure that we get the value out of these types of construction services.
Sure.
Thank you, Charles.
Thank you so much.
Okay, thanks, Charles. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? None motion carries. Number 12 is request approval of execution of Vitram Grove subdivision bond, sites located in precinct 1.
Move to approve.
Second.
Motion made, seconded. Discussion. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? None motion carries. Number 13 is consider and take action on Comcast utility permit for directional bore conduit in the right-of-way of the following county roads, including road bores within Winding Creek Estates subdivision, sites located in precinct 1.
Move to approve.
Second.
Motion made and seconded. Discussion.
Now, Comcast has been very active and busy. I think this is about the third one I've seen come up, so I'm glad they're getting after putting these internet fiber in.
And I just want to give them a shout out because it seems that they are honoring the permits and they're doing it in a way that is creating the least amount of damage to the community, and then they're willing to go back in and clean up and leave it better than they found it in some cases. So again, I want to thank them. They've been a great partner to work with in terms of community engagement to get the job done.
Okay. Any further discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? None motion carries. Number 14 is consider and take action on Wellborn Sud utility permit to directional bore following county roads for the 30-inch water transmission project, sites located in precinct 1.
Move to approve. A
Second.
through C.
Second.
Motion made, seconded. Discussion. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? None motion carries. Number 15 is approval of final plat of Southern Point subdivision, section 701, 12.804 acres, Sterrett D. Smith, League Survey A-210, City of College Station, ETJ, Brazos County, Texas. Sites located in precinct 1.
Move to approve.
Second.
Motion made, seconded. Discussion. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? None motion carries. Number 16 is approval of final plat for Roberto Acres Lot 1 and 2, Abner Lee Junior League A-31, Brazos County, Texas. Sites located in precinct 2.
Move for approval.
Second.
Motion made, seconded. Discussion. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? None motion carries. Number 17 is consider and take action on a BTU utility permit to install 10 power poles within the right-of-way of Leonard Road with 4 aerial crossings to provide electrical service, sites located in precinct 4.
Move approval.
Second.
Motion
Judge,
made.
I'm going to move to abstain from this one.
Okay. Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, and 1 abstention. Motion carries. Number 19 is consider and take action on Welborn SUD, 18. Excuse me, consider and take action on Holly Oil utility permit to directional bore Loosier Lane to connect cast line for an oil well, sites located in precinct 4.
Move approval.
Second.
Motion made, seconded, discussion. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? None motion carries. Number 19 is consider and take action on Welborn SUD utility permit to directional bore the following county roads for a 30-inch water transmission project, sites located in precinct 4.
Move approval A through E.
Second.
Motion made, seconded, discussion. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? None motion carries. Number 20 is approve the treasurer's report for January of 2026.
Move for approval.
Second.
Motion made, seconded, discussion. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? None motion carries. Number 21 is tax refund application for the following.
Move for approval A through C.
Second.
Motion made, seconded, discussion. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? None motion carries. Number 22 is budget amendments, FY 25-26 budget amendments 1401 through 1406, but we need to pull the 1406. So it'll be 1401 through 1405.
Move for approval budget amendments 1401 through 1405.
Second.
Motion made, seconded, discussion. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? None motion carries. Number 23 is personnel change status.
Move for approval.
Second.
Motion made, seconded, discussion. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? None motion carries. Number 24 is payment of claims.
Move for approval.
Second.
Motion made, seconded, discussion. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? None motion carries. We will skip down to number 27, which is acknowledgement of the 2025 annual report, Brazos Valley Groundwater Conservation District. Number 28 is acknowledgement of the Brazos County Annual Comprehensive Financial Report for the year ended September 30, 2025. 29 is acknowledgement of the FY 2025-2026 budget to actuals by fund as of March the 27th, 2026, and acknowledgement of the FY 2025-2026 contingency budget to actual by fund as of March the 27th, 2026. Number 30 is announcement of interest items and possible future agenda topics. The 27 budget instruction worksheets will be distributed to all departments on April 7th, 2026. Departments are required to submit their completed budget request no later than May 15, 2026. And from taxes to services, how do budgets work? Don't miss the informative program where the budget officer Nina Payne and County Auditor Marcy Turner will explain the ins and outs of Brazos County budget process and show you how your tax dollars are used to provide services you expect. There's only 50 citizens will be able to attend. It's April the 23rd, 6 to 7:30 in Commissioner's Administration here in the 200 South Texas Avenues. And then there's a link to the registration. Any other announcements?
Yes, sir. Judge, I want to thank Charles and his team, because on Thursday, April the 30th, from 1 o'clock to 4 o'clock, we will have our second annual How to Do Business with Local Government at the Brazos Center. This is put on by the BCS Chamber of Commerce, Workforce Solutions in Brazos County. And last year was our first year. It was very successful. We want local businesses to be able to at least know how to do business with Brazos County. I think we're all tired of having to send business out to other states, And this is an opportunity, hopefully, to get businesses to bid on projects that we have in Brazos County. So again, thank you, Charles, and your staff for all the work that you do to put this thing on, and it's been a very good success.
Judge, just want to point out on Tuesday, April 14th, at 1 o'clock at the BV-COG, will be the 8th annual observance of the missing in Brazos Valley. So I'd like to see everybody there.
Okay. Any other announcements? We will move back up to number 25 and convene an executive session pursuant to number 1, I think we don't need, is that correct, Counselor? Is that,
That's correct, Judge.
okay, so number 2 is Texas Government Code 551.071, 1A, to consult with an attorney about pending or contemplated litigation and/or a settlement officer. Number 3 is Texas Government Code 551.0711B, to consult with attorney about pending contemplated litigation or settlement offer. 4 is Texas Government Code 551.0725, to deliberate business and financial issues related to a contract being negotiated. Number 5 is Texas Government Code 551.074, to discuss the appointment, dismissal, the appointment, employment, evaluation, reassignment, duties, discipline, or dismissal of economic development coordinator. Number 6 is Texas Government Code 551.072, to deliberate the purchase, exchange, lease, or value of real property. And for number 2, we'll have Aubrey, Ed, Andrew, Prathna, and Katie. Then number 3 would be Aubrey, Ed, Andrew, Donald, Delgado, Prathna, Joe Salvata, and Katie. Number 4 would be Aubrey, Ed, Andrew, Charles, Caitlin, Prathna, and Katie. And then number 5 is Aubrey, Ed, Andrew, Jennifer, Rihanna, and Katie. Number 6 is Aubrey, Ed, Andrew, Trevor, Nina, and Katie. So first executive session will be Aubrey, Ed, Andrew, Prathna, and Katie.
Judge, in reference to number 4, it is a deliberation for a contract. I have rendered an opinion that it would be detrimental for the court to deliberate this in open session. I'd ask the court to take a vote that it would be unanimous to take this up in executive session.
So moved.
Second.
Motion made, seconded. All in favor, raise your right hand. It's unanimous. And the time is 10:38. We'll convene into executive session.
Dang, those are fast.
Ready? All right, we're coming out of executive session. It is 12:16, and we have no action to take. The next item is to adjourn. Thank you all.
Yay.